This is it guys, the Mercedes-Benz EQS450 Plus just launched here in Malaysia. This is the world's first and most luxurious full electric luxury sedan, and here in Malaysia it goes for just under 700,000 ringgit. This is basically a full electric S-Class. With EVs, we're usually talking about an electric range of 300, 400, maybe 500 kilometers. But with this one right here, it can go over 700 kilometers on a single charge. In fact, the claim figure is actually closer to 800 kilometers. So let's take a closer look at the brand new Mercedes-Benz EQ here in Malaysia. The EQS is Mercedes-Benz's very first full electric vehicle built from the ground up to be an EV. The rest of the EQ range, the EQ A, B and C, are all practically based on the standard ICE versions of Mercedes-Benz's. This one has got its own unique bespoke platform made specifically for the EQS. As you can see, this has a look of its own. It doesn't look anything like the standard S-Class. The bonnet is now a lot lower, the whole front is a lot shorter, and the face is so much more rounded compared to the regular car. This allows this car to be super aerodynamic. In fact, it's the most aerodynamically efficient car in the entire world with a drag coefficient of 0.2. Helping that obviously is this fully closed up front grille, and if you look closely, the dots are actually Mercedes 3-pointed stars. That's a very nice detail right there. The lights are the top of the line Mercedes-Benz digital light system, each one with 1.3 million pixels of control. In the center here, there is a continuous light. That is now the signature look of Mercedes EQ cars. Here in Malaysia, we are getting the full AMG line package as standard for the EQS. You get a much more aggressive front bumper together with 21-inch wheels. At the back here, you will see that this is more of a hatchback than a sedan. If you open the boot up, the back window will raise together up with the tailgate. So yeah, this is more of a hatchback than a traditional sedan, of course. Now, they've obviously done this in the name of aerodynamic because obviously this is the most efficient shape to cut through the air. This is clearly designed in the wind tunnel with plenty of hours in CFD. The only thing that somewhat spoils the smooth bar soap shape is this tiny boot-lid spoiler that comes together with the AMG line performance package. So overall, this is definitely one of the more unique cars that you will ever see in Malaysian roads, especially with this full width LED taillights. Very unique. Since we're back here with the badge fully on display, let's talk about the specs. This is the EQS450 Plus, the single version that's available in Malaysia today. This gets a single electric motor running the rear wheels only, rated at 333 PS and 565 Newton meters of torque. That's enough to move this 2.5-ton vehicle from 0 to 100 in just 6.2 seconds and on to a top speed of 210 kilometers per hour. Now, on to battery, it's absolutely massive. This is the biggest battery pack for an EV we've seen in Malaysia to date. It has a total capacity of 120 kilowatt hours with a usable capacity of 108 kilowatt hours. So obviously to charge it is going to take a long time, especially if you use AC charging. The onboard charger is only rated at 11 kilowatts because we don't get the optional 22 kilowatt charger that's available in other markets. So if you use AC 11 kilowatt charger, it's going to take up to 11-12 hours to juice up this car. If you have access to a DC charger, this can take up to 200 kilowatts. And at full capacity, you can go from 10 to 80% in under 30 minutes. As for range, the EQS450 Plus is claimed to do up to 782 kilometers on a single charge based on the WLTP testing. The real world range isn't that far off either, with Mercedes-Benz Malaysia having driven this car from KL to Johor and back on a single charge. That's 650 kilometers right there. That's not bad at all for an EV. Next, I do have to mention two things that are not available for Malaysian customers. Number one, you may have seen the fancy comfort door feature where you just walk up to a car with the key in your pocket and the doors will open up automatically for you. Here, yeah, it's not available for us. Secondly, the two-tone paint job with the top of the car and the bottom painted in different colors. Again, not available here in Malaysia. Unfortunate, but yeah, that's the way it is. But what we do get as standard here in Malaysia is the extended rear axle steering function. In most other countries, this is a function that you have to unlock through a paywall within the center screen. Here, we get it as standard. This will turn the rear wheels in the opposite way of the front wheels by up to 10 full degrees. So if you do see this car with the rear wheels pointing the wrong way compared to the front, that's not a broken car, that's just the car doing what it does. Now inside here, the EQS dashboard is dominated by what Mercedes-Benz call the hyper screen. That is a very fancy name for what Mercedes says is a 55-inch full-width all-screen dashboard. Well, it's not actually a full-screen dashboard because if you look closely, it's actually separated into 3 separate screens. 2 widescreen ones on the side and a huge, massive one right down the center. If Mercedes-Benz meant to blow everyone away with how modern, how futuristic this dashboard looks, they've definitely achieved that. The center screen here houses Mercedes-Benz usual 2nd generation MBUX interface, and it's fairly easy to use. You can also get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, obviously. But in terms of quality, I can't say that this is as good as a Mercedes-Benz S-Class. But then again, that is the highest of bars to be compared against, of course. I just feel that certain materials, yeah, they don't quite feel as plush as the S-Class. But then again, if you were to compare this against any other car out there, this will feel absolutely glorious. The materials at play here is quite interesting though. At the top, this velvety feel of the leather, it's probably made out of sustainable man-made material, leather or whatever it is. But yeah, I think here it works well with the cabin. In the back here, you get a huge amount of space because this is a big car. It's almost as long as an S-Class on the outside. So legroom, there's plenty of it. I don't think anybody in the world will complain about this. Headroom can be a bit of a problem if you're especially tall. We can blame that swoopy roofline for that fact. Other than that, the seats themselves are not quite perfect because as usual, with the entire battery pack squeezed right under the floor, the placement of the seat base compared to the floor is a little bit off. So if I were to sit up straight, yeah, the bottom of my thighs are a little bit hanging off the seat base. I don't think it's quite the most comfortable rear quarters you can get in a luxury car today. The S-Class would be much better. The same goes with the seat adjustment as well. This is as far back as this seat will go. Yeah, it doesn't go any further back than this. So clearly the rear quarters of the S-Class is far superior compared to the EQS. This, I think, is meant for those people who just want a massive car to drive for themselves. But that is not to say you don't get to indulge in the back here, of course. In the middle here, you get a 2-zone climate control for a complete 4-zone separation. Right in front of you, there is a touchscreen system where you can control plenty of things, watch movies, watch videos, or even send directions to the driver in front. You even get your own pair of wireless headphones for each of the 2 passengers in the back here. Yeah, it's very cool. Again, just not to the standards of the S-Class. So there you go, the Mercedes-Benz EQS450 Plus available right now here in Malaysia. Well, I say available right now, but if you were to book one today, the earliest you can get it is sometime next year. Yeah, again, that's just the way it is nowadays. Anyway, this is easily the most unique looking, the most luxurious EV on sale in Malaysia today, and it helps that it's got the highest range as well. So what do you think of the EQS? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and stay safe, everyone.